Evening, everybody. Graz here from the Graz World of Sports Gaming, and we're on Action PC Baseball from DK Sports, and I'm here to finish out the 1923 season. I'm through July 31st, so we're gonna run August, September, and then we'll play the World Series. Going into August in the National League, the Reds are just running away with it. They're 66-31 with an 8-game lead over the Cardinals. 10 games over the Giants, 17 over the Dodgers, 18.5 over the Braves, 21 over the Pirates, 25 over the Cubs, and 40.5 over the Phillies. Yuck. On the American League side, we have a kind of a shocking development. The White Sox are in the lead with 59-35. They have a 7-game lead over the Indians and 7.5 over the Yankees. This I believe was the year of Yankee Stadium. So this is interesting that the Yankees are 7.5 back. Maybe they can, work their way back into the thing through August. But anyway, White Sox also have a 9.5 game lead over the Senators and the Brownies. Sorry, 14.5 over my Tigers. It's not really a good Tigers season. 20.5 over the Athletics, and 27.5 over the Red Sox. So over here we have the major league leaders. Jim Bottomley for the Cardinals is hitting .402, and Rogers Hornsby also for the Cardinals is hitting .398. And then let's see, Williams. I can't remember what his name is. But he's leading in. He's got a 394 batting average. Ken Williams for the Brownies has a 394 batting average. All three of those guys are chasing 400. I believe that's Lefty Williams for the Phillies. No, Cy Williams for the Phillies is leading the majors in home runs with 26, and Babe Ruth is leading the American League with 23. And Ed Roosh from Cincinnati has 100 driven in. So we're just going to play August a week at a time, like we always do on here. Let's put this on batting for now so we can watch the 400 race. We'll go to the 11th since it's a short opening week. Here we go. Go Tigers, or I guess go Tigers, try and get 500, but kind of rooting for the White Sox. Wouldn't mind that. I mean, the Yankees don't need another victory now, do they? I believe this is, like I said, I believe this is the year of the house that Ruth built, Yankee Stadium. And this might be Babe Ruth's first World Championship. I will look that up. Matter of fact, I'll look that up while we're doing this. See over here on the right. Let's get that stupid thing out of the way. Okay. Yeah, obviously the Yankees won it in 21 and 22. The Giants beat them in 21. Giants beat them in 22. And the Yankees won so this is the year of the first Yankees World Series victory. All right, so through the 11th, the White Sox now have a 5.5 game lead over the Indians and the Yankees, and the Reds pulled further away. We have 2 guys over 400 and 1 guy at 390. And Babe Ruth is there. This is the year Babe Ruth also hit 393 and didn't win the batting title. So, there we go. Let's go to the 18th. Oops. Okay. The Tigers are still 3 games out of 500. Or under 500, I should say. Babe Ruth is the first hitter to 30 home runs. No surprises there. None at all. Could he win the Triple Crown? I doubt it. The batting title, I think, is going to be what stops him because Tris Speaker's leading the American League in runs batted in with 93. It doesn't show, but you got to think Babe's close in that with 31 dingers. This is also the year before, I think, Lou Gehrig became a regular, or at least joined the team for real. I know he was with the team late, like in September, but so this is still a Wally Pipp first base season for the Yankees. Okay. Cy Williams from the Phillies has 30 home runs. That's surprising. Wonder how many he had in real life that year. Let's see. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Let's see. Through the 25th of August, the Reds have a 13.5 game lead. Wow. And the White Sox have a 6.5 game lead over the Yankees and the Indians, and the Tigers are at 500. But look at this. The Tigers are tied for the Major League lead for runs per game at 5.7. Wow. They need some pitching, I guess. Babe Ruth is hitting 378, and he is behind Heilman and Eddie Collins. We still got a couple of guys chasing 400. Okie dokie. Let's get through August, and then we'll see where everything stands. Heading to the final month after, these games. August 31st being played. And there we go. Let's go look at some numbers. So through August 31st, the Reds have a 14-game lead. They're 82-41. Wow. And the White Sox have a 5-game lead over the Yankees. And the Tigers are 1 game over 500. Ed Roosh, though. Let's just look at the National League to start with. Okay. So there can't be a Triple Crown here because Williams is way, way, way ahead in home runs. And not even in the top 10 in batting average. But Ed Roosh and Rogers Hornsby are both over 390 through August. That's very, very impressive. Ed Roosh has 125 runs batted in. Wow. That's nuts. Let's see. Dolph Lukue is leading the National League in ERA. He's the only 20-game winner so far. And he's one of only 2 pitchers over 100 strikeouts. So they're giving him the Cy Young, and Ed Roosh it's a Cincinnati whitewash here. It's not surprising. Okay, let's look at the American League and see if the Babe has a chance here. Oh, the Babe has a huge chance. Oh my. He's leading in batting, just barely over Harry Heilman. He's kind of already won the home run crown. And he's tied for first in RBIs. So Babe Ruth could have a Triple Crown. And he's slugging .752. Give me a break. Red Faber is leading the American League in wins with 21, just ahead of George Ewell. That name means a lot to me and one of my viewers. And Red Faber's running away. See, the Red Faber is the sad tale of the Black Sox, I would like to point out. Okay? I'll show you right now what I mean and why. Wow, the White Sox are way over what they're doing. Okay, Red Faber is in the Hall of Fame. Okay? And he was a stud. If you look from when he became a starter, like from a rookie, all right? He was a stud as a rookie, right? If you're going by ERA and all that crap, 2.68, right? 2.55, 2.02 in 1916, 1.92 when they won the World Series in 1.92, 1.23 in 1918, and then he took a dump in 1919. He got sick. He was hurt. He managed to pitch 162 innings though, and had a 3.83 ERA, which was like awful for back then. He had a negative 1.2 WAR that year. That's the year. If he had pitched, and then look right back to it, 299, and then he was like a MVP candidate in 21 and 22. So one outlier in that, and it's the year that they needed him the most. Because with him, there would have been no betting. Nobody would have bet against him at all, no matter what. So that's Red Faber. But anyway, let's get on with it. Can Babe Ruth win the Triple Crown? Wow. Let's just leave this on National League so it's a surprise when we come back. September, here we go. Do you remember? I won't do that again. I apologize to everybody. We'll go through the 8th. Rooting for the Tigers to be over 500. I'm rooting for the White Sox, really. I mean, man, they're way over themselves. I don't know why. Just shows how random these simulations can be. A random number generator in the background rolling the dice. But I'll take a White Sox team that, you know, it's just too bad Shoeless Joe's not on this team. The Tigers are leading the majors in scoring at 6 runs a game. What in the, if they had some pitching, I'm telling you. So through the 8th, looks like Babe Ruth is putting on a Triple Crown performance here. He's leading the American League in runs batted in, home runs, and batting average by 6 or 7 points over Harry Heilmann. The White Sox still have a 5-game lead. The Reds have given up some ground. Look out. The Giants and the Cardinals are on their way. I mean, I don't think they're going to make it, but it's not double digits anymore. Let's see. Chances at 100 games. The Phillies are going to lose 100 games. There's no doubt about that. They're 33 and 96. I think that might be the only 100 we see here in this season, but we'll see. Let's go through the 15th and we'll check again. Will we have a 400 hitter? Can Babe Ruth hold on and win the National League or the American League Triple Crown? Can the Tigers lead the majors in runs scored? All these and more to come. Babe Ruth is the first hitter to 40 home runs. That's a big deal, as long as he doesn't get hurt. We got 3 guys over 390. Babe Ruth at 392, Ed Roosh at 397, and Rogers Hornsby at 401. Ruth has an 18-point lead over Harry Heilmann now. He's way ahead in home runs, 40. I mean, Cy Williams is going to lead the National League with 35, but Ruth is beating Ken Williams for home runs with 28 by 12. And runs batted in, Ruth is chasing Roosh for the Major League lead. Wow. Jim Bottomley with 20 triples. Look out, Jim Bottomley. What is that? And the Tigers are still leading in runs scored. The Reds have a 7-game lead with not much left. A real pennant race is developing in the American League. Chicago has a 2.5-game lead over the Yankees. And the Tigers are 3 games over 500. Let's go to the 22nd of September. Will the White Sox collapse? It looks that way. The Yankees are relentless and tough, especially with the Bambino on their team. I don't want to hear no crap about modern players being better than him. He was special. Okay, so through the 22nd of September, the Reds have a 6.5 game lead over the Giants. The White Sox still have a 2.5 game lead over the Yankees. The Phillies have lost 105 games. Oh. Red Sox look like they want to maybe make a run at 100 for losses. Rogers, Hornsby, and Ed Roosh are still chasing 400. Babe Ruth is leading the American League in batting by 11 points over Eddie Collins. 11 home runs over Ken Williams. And 4 RBIs over Ken Williams, so look out. Ken Williams is trying to make a run. Max Carey and Eddie Collins both over 50 stolen bases. And the Tigers are still leading the majors in scoring at 5.9 per game. Let's go to September 30th. I know what I'm rooting for. A Triple Crown and a winning season by the Tigers. That's what I'm winning. That's what I'm rooting for. And the White Sox. Who doesn't love an underdog? Especially one that only won 67 games in real life. I wonder if there's any games in October other than the World Series. I think there are. Wow. Where are we playing to here? October 7th. We'll play through October 7th. Let's finish the season. Goodness gracious. The Yankees and White Sox are battling. Love it. Philadelphia. Oh, the Red Sox have lost 100 games. And there we go. The season is over. Let's go take a peek. All right, the Reds win the National League by 5.5 games over the Giants and Cardinals. They won 95 games. The Pirates were 15 games back. Dodgers were 17 games back. The Braves were 19 games back. The Cubs, 28. And the Phillies went 41 and 113 and were 54 games back. Yikes, can you imagine? They even had the guy, Cy Williams, need some help because he led the National League in home runs. I mean, give me a break on that. Let's see. The MVP, it says, was Rogers Hornsby. And Dolph Luque was the Cy Young. Makes sense. 26 wins and a 2.37 ERA. Rogers Hornsby, 18 home runs and a 4.03 batting average. So he managed it. And an on-base percentage of .464. Unreal. Okay, let's put it on the American League. The White Sox, 93 and 61 by 1 game over the Yankees. 9.5 over the Senators. 12.5 over Cleveland. Wonder why they didn't play those 2 other games. What is that? 14 over the Tigers, who did finish over 500. I'll take it. 19 over the Brownies. 29 over the Athletics, and then the poor Red Sox were 49 and 103 and 43 games back. Babe Ruth wins the Triple Crown. He hit .389 with 44 home runs, 131 runs batted in, and a 1.318 OPS. Kaboom. Williams, I can never remember this guy's name. Ken Williams made a run. 368 batting average, 33 homers, and 128 runs batted in. Over here, and so they gave the MVP to Babe Ruth. Red Faber gets the Cy Young over George Ewell because Faber led in ERA and was close in wins. Okay. Let's go look at the overall leaders, get some numbers. The MVPs are probably exactly what we know. Let's just go all. Okay. Custom. Nope. Batting. We'll just keep it on major leagues. It's quicker that way. We know what the batting average was. Goodness. 47 hitters, qualified hitters, hit 300 or higher. 9 of them at 350 or more. Ty Cobb hit 350 and finished 9th. What in the world? Okay. We know the home run story. Triples. Whoops, I hit the wrong. Oh, interesting. Ed Roosh and Jim Bottomley with 21 triples each. Tris Speaker with 60 doubles. 60. Babe Ruth had 54. Lord, he's over 100 then, isn't he? 55 and 54. He had 109 extra base hits. Whoa. Man, he was dead on. Okay. Where's the X for him? Okay. Runs scored. Babe Ruth led with 140. He had 150 walks. Boots Grantham had 102 strikeouts. Ed Roosh led the major leagues with 137 runs batted in. Frankie Frisch and Ed Roosh had 223 hits to lead. Babe Ruth had 410 total bases. Max Carey stole 61 bases. Babe Ruth had a .528 on-base percentage. Put that in your jock and suck it, Ohtani. And a .790 slugging. Okay? Let's see. Too bad we can't see who, if anybody hit for a cycle, but that's okay. We're here. Babe Ruth had 46 intentional walks. The 1.318 OPS. Johnny Amastel had 18 hit by pitches. Ouch. Joe Sewell grounded into 23 of double plays. These are our leaders. Ed Roosh had 69 multi-hit games. Really, Ty Cobb had 65. Jim Bottomley, Harry Hanlon, and Frankie Frisch each had 67. Pie Trainer had 65. Wow. Okay. Now let's look at some pitching. That'll be fun, I guess. Dolph Luque has the ERA lead with the 2.37. George Ewell led the world in innings with 357 and 31 complete games. Luque had 26 wins. Ewell had 24. Is this Johnny Ring? Is that who this is? Jimmy Ring for the Phillies had 24 losses. Not surprising. Saves don't really count back then. Dazzy Vance had 7 complete game shutouts. Red Faber, 6 complete game shutouts. Let's look and see what he ended up with, because he's 22-7 with a 2.55 ERA, 6 shutouts. I mean, yeah, the White Sox needed him. Dazzy Vance with 199 strikeouts to lead. Howard Emke walked 143 batters. Alexander, I think this is this Doyle? No, not Doyle. Grover? Grover Cleveland Alexander for the Cubs gave up 23 dingers. George Ewell gave up 410 hits in his 357 innings. That's crazy. No no-hitters. None. That's not surprising. Dolph Luque with a 1.052 whip. George Ewell gave up 76 doubles. Gee whiz. Hook Stoss gave up 27 triples. Howard Emke hit 25 guys. Jimmy or Johnny Ring, whichever, had 16 wild pitches. Let's see here. Anything else? Dolph Luque had 28 quality starts. Yep. And George Ewell induced 34 double plays. Let's just, for the heck of it, let's look at errors. This will be fun, right? For pitchers, Herman Pillett and Rommel had 9. For catchers, Perkins had 14 errors. Oh, right, triple play. Let's see. First base, Jim Bottomley had 29 errors. All right, there was 2 triple plays for them. Boots Grantham with 63, right? Yeah, George Boots Grantham at second base with 63 errors. Isn't he a first baseman? At third base, Lutzke with 29. That is Red Lutzke, right? Where are you? Rube Lutzke. My apologies. Joe Sewell from Cleveland had 61 errors. Ooh. Okay. How about these outfield assisters? Joe Harris had 13. Zach Wheat had 18 errors. Center field assists, Tris Speaker with 18. 3 guys with 17 errors. And in right field, C. Walker from the Phillies with 14 assists and 21 errors. Wow, he was... Who is that? Kurt Walker leads the league in assists and errors. That's interesting. Okay, so that's 1923. Babe Ruth, all-time season. Let's look at the Yankees. Lou Gehrig showed up a little bit there at the end, right? He should have. 13 games, and he hit .423 with a 1.233 ERA or OPS. It was time for him to show up. Let me tell you. Team. Notes. Info. Bio. I was kind of hoping that maybe if I looked at, like, maybe if you went through this, it would show you the cycles, but I don't want to hit every single person for cycles. Let's see if Babe Ruth hit for the cycle at all in this awesome season. He did. He hit for the cycle once. He had 11 triples and 19 stolen bases, so he had a quad double. Wow. All right. So now it's time for... Oh, that wasn't 1920. Now we have to do the World Series, don't we? Let's see. Let's look at 1923. I went right back to him. That is not what I wanted to do. Who's home? Okay, the AL. Well, it looks like they alternated. But the AL was home first, so we'll put the White Sox there and the Reds here and set the pairings for the World Series. Let's auto, because I really don't want to do the whole thing. Okay. So game 1, the Reds win 10-3. Daubert 5 for 5 with 2 doubles. Wow. Okay. Game 2. The White Sox win 3-2. Game 3. The Reds win 4-1 and are up 2-1. Game 4. The White Sox throw a shutout, 4-0. Sven Gross with a shutout. 9 innings, 4-hitter. All right. Okay, so it is tied 2-2. So going to game 5, the Reds win 5-2. Dolph Luque is 2-0. He's looking good. Ed Roosh, 2 for 4. Okay. Triple for Burns. All right. Game 6. The White Sox win kind of a slugfest. 7-6 in 12. Wow. Okay. Hooper hits a dinger. This goes to Game 7. Here we go. Game 7. And Game 7 is won by the White Sox. The White Sox, who won 67 games in real life, have just won the World Series of 1923 over the Reds. That's insane. Okay, let's see. Is there a way to see the stats for that? Well, playoff bracket. Detail. Playoff leaders. Here we go. Okay, so the White Sox won. Let's see. Dolph Luque for the Reds. That doesn't. So he's out with his 2 wins. So it's probably going to be a hitter. Go by OPS. And the best hitter for the White Sox is Earl Sheely with 10 hits, 3 runs, 10 RBIs. More RBIs than everybody. And he hit 370. So we're giving it to Earl Sheely. He's the World Series MVP. It says Dolph Luque down here and Jake Daubert, but they lost. And I'm not going to give both of those to the team that lost. The White Sox won. We're giving that. We're going to give this to I guess Sven Gross for his 4-hit shutout, and then the hitter MVP to Earl Sheely for his 10 RBIs, which is a big deal, and 10 hits. So, congratulations to the White Sox. This was 1923. See you soon with something else. I've been Graz. This is Action PC Baseball, Graz World of Sports Gaming.